done. It's all you. With somebody who loves me. So I'll put my faith in something unknown. I'm living on nothing, but I'm tired of hope with nothing to hold. I'm living on
Yeah, bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think the tongue dead. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think the tongue dead.
and it's hard to learn, and it's hard to learn. You're giving me such sweet
Better than anything and everything you have done. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think the tongue dead. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think the tongue dead.
Take it up. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it up. Slow, steady, undress. Success.
You got a fast car, and I wanna take it to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. I ain't proud of all the punches that I've thrown in the name of someone I no longer know. For the shame of being young, drunk and alone. Traffic lights in the transmit radio. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, it felt like I was drunk. Got tired, drunk, got tired for you. Had a feeling that I belong. Got tired, drunk, got tired for you.
That I want you, I say it. I would want myself. Let me please, oh baby. I'll put you through hell. Just to know me, yeah, yeah. So sure of yourself, baby, don't get greedy. That shit won't end well.
I can't explain. I got a feeling that I can't erase. Just a feeling that I won't leave behind, because it's something that it's on my mind. I guess it goes like na 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 na.
Myself, please, baby. I'll put you through hell. Just to know me, yeah.
I call it cappuccino.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second. Night after night, I'll be fucking you for 7 days.
Yeah, man, I need ways. Tell me for the whole day. Someday. Yeah, it hurts to say, but I want you to stay. Sometimes. about you or anything that you do. Don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do. Bitch, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do. Don't give a fuck about you, bitch. I don't fuck with you.
Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. Still the one. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. You're still the one I kiss goodnight.
Attention Walmart, this is Gail Lewis signing out.
I'm slipping into the lava, and I'm trying to keep from going under. Baby, hold on to push it harder, 'cause I'm burning up for you, baby.
Yeah, about to catch another fight. The apple bottom make 'em wanna bite. I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, mo. 'Cause when you were boss, you could do what you want.
Well, I was sitting, waiting, wishing you believed in superstitions. Then maybe you'd see the signs. But Lord knows that this world is cruel, and I ain't the Lord. No, I'm just a fool, and I'm loving somebody don't make them love you.
Yeah, 'cause girls is players too. Yeah, 'cause girls is players too.
Must I always be waiting, waiting on you?
Yeah, 'cause girls is players too.
This sex so good, I shouldn't have to fuck for free. I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers, last 223,000 hours, and it's 'cause I'm off of CC, and I'm off the Hennessy. And like your boy from Compton said, you know this dick ain't free. I got girls that I should've made pay for it, got girls that I should've made wait for it. I got girls that I cancel a flight back home, stay another day for it. You got attitude on nana, on agua, stomach on flat, on what's that?
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep.
Young girl don't want that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bet this man fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Crack up the phone, I swear. Keep me a stupid, they purge.
pour me another drink. Cause I don't wanna feel a thing no more, hell no. I just wanna sip till the pain wears off. Don't wanna think about her or wear a ring without her. Don't wanna hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make them drinks strong, cause brother, she's gone. And if I'm ever gonna move on, I'ma need some whiskey glasses. Cause I don't wanna see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone new. Yeah, I'ma need some whiskey glasses if I'm gonna make it through. I'ma be single, I'ma need a double shot of that heartbreak blues.
I love Tradecaster.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Just a friendly reminder. Over the past 12 months, how much money did you make day trading using your strategy? 551,000.
That kind of money, it's like you know what you're doing. Sean knows his stuff.
So this is exactly how I did it.
Perfect.
I want everyone to go trade. Go! Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Anything else?
It wasn't pleasant. That was during lunch hours.
Take some pictures.
Now we're up $1,200. We got some action right here. $2,000, $760. If I tell you how I was able to do this, go out and make that money, make a killing. Can we start getting ourselves in the green somehow? Get it, people! A bot sell man making HUDI $1,000. Ollie with a $327 trade. Boom, guys. $989 profit. $2,600. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! You guys want to see something good today? We're bringing something good to the house. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We are ready to go, and we are having ourselves an absolutely huge Wednesday ahead. So traders, ladies and gentlemen here, I am so excited. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to dive right on in. Just to clear the air right here, just letting everyone know, yes, today is my birthday. August 7th, 1993, 11:53 at night. A little beautiful baby, 10 pounds and 8 ounces, was delivered to this world. Traders, 31 years old today. Let's make it a special day. Let's make it a special birthday. Let's make sure, again, we're coming out firing. So I am so grateful, so blessed beyond words to be able to have you guys here every single day. So supportive. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes that you guys have already said already today. And I'm ready to rock and roll on this day. I hope you guys are as well. It's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun night. And we're going to get this party started right here and right now. No other way I'd want to celebrate my big 31 other than being with you guys. So guys, let's do it. Let's get ready to make some money and let's get after it. So let's see how much money we could be able to make today. Let's turn off this music here. Claire, you know the deal. And turn this on down. We'll see what we have going on with this day. So, all right, traders. Obviously, we know it has all been about the S&P 500. The S&P 500. And S&P 500 here, team, we want to be watching to see, are we going to continue to buy back on up? Is the S&P 500 going to be able to continue to climb higher and higher and higher? Because over the last 2 days, we have had a monster bounce play. Traders, we were all the way down to 507. And right now, we are currently sitting right next to the price of 530. So can we be able to break out of this 530 mark and rip and run a little bit higher? Well, traders, let's see what we have here. Everyone, let's head on over to Fox Runner. Let's go ahead, click the news alerts, scroll on down to where we have our S&P 500 talk. And let's talk about the SPY right here and right now. So, what does it say at this time? It says the S&P 500 has more upside ahead. The S&P 500 bounce has been incredible so far. Stocks partially recovered on Tuesday after seeing losses during the previous 3 trading days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average inched 0.76% higher, ending the session at 38,000. Seeing even greater percentage gains on the S&P 500 increased 1% to finish at 5,240. The Nasdaq Composite moved to 1% higher to finish at 16,000. Not only that, but Japan's market saw its best day since October of 2008 with a gain of 10%. These moves come after the benchmark declined 12% since, of course, 1987. Wall Street's coming off a strong session this morning. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq are all up at least 1%. We are seeing the S&P 500 continue to climb. So, let's talk about what we really have at this time. It's almost like a game of follow the leader. How did the market bounce back so strong? So, let's ask you guys a question. Do you remember playing the game Follow the Leader as a child? One person would be the leader, and you would have to do everything that person does to stay in the game. These same rules applied yesterday. So we did have Japan's market. The Nikkei dropped 12% on Monday. The S&P 500 drops 4% at lows and closes down over 2.5%. But then on Tuesday, the Nikkei spiked up 10%. The S&P 500 spiked $10, closing up to 1.32%. So it's basically like these global markets are going to be able to follow each other. Now, of course, Japan's market does not determine what the S&P 500 will do. But when we see these strong reactions in different countries, it can help us get an understanding of what we may see in our present moment. So traders, didn't we talk about that all yesterday? I vividly remember being at the mic 24 hours ago and saying, hey everyone, Japan's market fell 12% over on Monday. Then yesterday, it rose up 10%. Our market fell on Monday, downwards of 4%, then finished off around 2.5%. But then again, I said, let's watch for a big, strong green day going into today, which was yesterday. And guess what? We saw a big, strong green day. So it was a game of big follow the leader here. So we have yesterday, our analysts broke down the S&P 500 into an easy channel, showing the importance of the previous chart history. As of now, everything is following the channel perfectly. The S&P 500 has reclaimed 523 and is now fully back inside the channel. Our main target today will be that 535 mark. This will be the top of the channel before a clear reversal and seller pressure moves in. So calls, if you want to do a call contract, the lower the entry, the better. As long as we stay above 523, we are inside the channel and we are considered bullish. Puts, the closer we get to 535, the better chance we have of seeing a reversal as we have seen in the past. Wait until at least 532 until we start looking for puts. So who was here yesterday who saw this and knows exactly what we have going on? Let's actually go back to yesterday. Click the little calendar, go back to August 6th. Let's go ahead and see what we had here. Remember, this picture, just want to show you, look where the S&P 500 was. This is the same exact picture from yesterday, looking to get into 523. Remember, the S&P 500, once we re-enter the channel, we have room to go up to 535. Entry, 523, bottom of the channel. Exit, 535. You can see right here, we are not in that channel. Now let's go over to today. Let's go back on over. And what do we have here? We can scroll back on down and you can see we are now inside that channel. Are we going to get that next leg on up today? So we are in the channel. And as you guys can see in the channel, we have bottom blue. We move up to top red. We come back down to bottom blue. We came on down to bottom blue, move back up to top red. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Resistance, resistance, bounce, looking to get all the way back up to resistance. That's what traders are looking for. That's what people want to see. Are we going to be able to spike up towards around that 535 mark today? That is going to be the ultimate goal going on to the S&P 500. So you guys could see the chart set up here. You guys could see everything that we have going on, but obviously it's not just every single time green straight up, red straight down. Sometimes we do have bounce play, bigger bounce play, still falls, bounce, then we move all the way on up. So to say, naively, oh, we're just going to go all the way up to 535, that's again a little like probably unrealistic. There's going to be times that we're going to slightly fade. There's going to be times that we're going to slightly fall. There's going to be times that we're going to have consolidation. But as you guys can tell, the overall target is to get back up towards that 535 mark. And that's where a lot of traders are going to be focusing on. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 right now at this moment. And you guys can see the S&P 500, we definitely have a lot of strong resistance up near around that 530, 531 area. I can also see that the S&P 500 has had a very nice uptrend going towards it. The best case scenario, I would say, is if we can get a little bit of a morning pullback. We can get a morning pullback, get ready for a dip buy, try to get a dip buy down low, maybe right around 10 o'clock, and then we start moving our way back on upwards. So that's what I would love to see. Now, what have we seen the last 2 days straight? The last 2 days straight, we've actually seen spiking in the morning and then falling in the afternoon. Here's spiking throughout the morning into the afternoon and then a big crash in the afternoon. So the last 2 days straight have been spike in the morning, fall in the afternoon, spike until power hour, fall in power hour. That's what we have seen. So are we going to see something similar today where we're going to spike straight up to 531, 532? Or are we going to get that pullback first, find that support, maybe back down to 524, and then start moving our way back on up? So the S&P 500, it's going to be a little bit interesting, but we do have the idea. We do have the game plan on what we want to be looking at. Now, is there anything else really big right here? Tuesday's top gainers, Tuesday's top losers, VBIV, LUMN. Let's just see, VBIV, anything too big at this moment? That one spiked big yesterday, basically gave everything back. Anything on LUMN? I know a lot of people were looking at this play yesterday. Guys, LUMN is still a good solid play. I mean, there is nothing wrong with LUMN. If you are a penny stock trader and you're saying, hey, I want to be watching a stock right now, LUMN is an awesome play here. Stock has gone from $2 and is now sitting all the way up to $7. Big gap up. So LUMN, if this one starts getting a little bit of hype, this one could definitely steal the show as being one of the best top gainers on the day today. So LUMN, definitely keep that on watch. What do we have here? ZCMD was up 87% this morning with no current news. ZCMD basically gave everything on back. So that play is starting to fade. That play is starting to fall. And as called, just a little heads on up. This seems to be a common occurrence over the past 2 weeks where the number one top gainer in the stock market is gapping up for no reason whatsoever. Now, the good news is every single time that this has happened, the same result has occurred. The stock turns into a large red candle on the daily chart. 99% of the time that a stock is a top gainer with no news, you can expect to see selling and profit taking and shorters moving in at the start of the day. Think about it. If you were in ZCMD and all of a sudden you woke up, no news, no filing, no credibility, but it's up 87%, you're probably going to take your profits. Just like everyone else is going to take their profits, this leads to selling momentum right at the bell, which cannot recover since there's no news to bring buyers back in on it. So when a stock like this appears, watch to see it fade and fall. You want to enter shorts. You have a great odds in your favor if you look to just short this play. So as you guys can see, ZCMD has already again faded and fallen and starting to get shorts. So not really too much there. Last night, traders, if you guys were not here, we did see SMCI come out with their earnings. SMCI did miss on its earnings and announced a 10-to-1 reverse stock split. So SMCI traders, one of the favorite plays in artificial intelligence is just getting absolutely beat down at this point. Let's take a look over on SMCI. SMCI at the start of this year was at the price of $300. It then, with the AI hype, spiked all the way up to $1,200 with the AI hype. It's now back to $531. Whoa. So we have given back nearly 50%, over 50% from the highs to where we're at right now. And it came out with missed earnings last night. So SMCI, you guys can see this one started falling. What do you guys think of the AI world right now? What do you guys think of the AI hype right now? What do you guys think of the AI potential at this moment, right? This is definitely something that could definitely get weaker and weaker and weaker. We'll see again, which way the SMCI is going to be heading. We'll see, which way SMCI is going to be going. But this is definitely something that we are going to want to be watching. So let's again keep our eyes peeled over on SMCI, possible dip buy and bounce play. As we know, penny stocks, very slow recently. LUMN's the best one. GTHX got acquired at $7.10 per share. Whenever a stock has a big gap up and moves sideways, it's just going to sit there all day. You really don't need that in any sort of way. RR, not a big fan of this one. Had a big drop, just kind of moving sideways as well. Again, I'm looking more towards the S&P 500 right now, and that's just because it is the most active. It is the most volatile. It does have the most action behind it. So we definitely want to be on top of that. We know what we want to be looking at. We know what we want to be focusing on. We know that we have room to run up to 535 here today. But, what would be the best game plan at the start of the day? Let's take a look at this, team. We saw yesterday the S&P 500 crack underneath this wedge. We know that we could easily spike up to 535 still. Is there some sort of super strong area of support that just looks absolutely fantastic that it seems like we would have to bounce at? I don't really think we have some sort of super strong area of support. What I do see is we have strong resistance up near around 529. We have a strong area up near around that 529.10 mark. Where would be some very nice support areas? I would like to maybe see a quick little pullback. Give me a quick little pullback down to 526, get an entry. But if I had to say what is the best entry out there, the best entry that I could see, I'm going to say probably all the way back on down towards around that 524 area. 524 is a great area where I've seen some old spiking, bouncing, consolidation. You could see the start of pre-market this morning. It would be a nice little drop, not all the way down towards, 520, but again, a nice little pullback, a nice little drop. So I want to see how the S&P 500 opens on up. We know our target is 535, and then of course we can go from there. Anything else that we have going on at this moment? Nope. Again, that's basically it. Little heads on up though, traders. Fox Runner is announcing they have some future updates coming on up. So let's see what these are. It says, hi, Mark here from Fox Runner, wanting to let you know that some amazing updates will be implemented over the next 30 days. Number one, increased speed and optimization. So again, less loading times. There will be a full gap scanner, which means news or no news, all stocks that are gapping up or down will be listed, which is nice. An affiliate program, and also a big one here, guys, is politician data. So anyone registered with the United States government that works for a political party must document their trades and will be showing it. Please feel free to email us if you want to add anything. So again, this is a little screenshot of their congressional trading here, where it says, average trade size, number of tickers traded, overall amount of money made, shows again the top government officials trading and what they're trading. Then it also shows their name, how much they bought into it, if they bought or sold on a date, their political party. And then also you can click their name and it'll show you their full portfolio. So this is, I'm sure, just an example. Josh Gotham, Democratic, 6th District House. This is the overall trade volume, number of assets, number of shares. Shows you, again, their current portfolio of what they're holding and what they've recently got in and out of. So a little heads on up. I'm very excited about that feature coming on up. So they said within the next 30 days, they're going to be having this new congressional trading feature that's going to be showing everything on what insiders or what political figures are currently holding and what they're doing there. So that's going to be very good, adding over towards the Fox Runner scanner that we use every single day. Let's just see if there is any sort of hot news that we're missing at this time. See if there's any sort of big spikes, big rips, big runs. Bring this on over here. Let's drop this on down. And let's go with GTHX is the best one we see. And again, GTX though is the one that just has that big acquire press release, right? So we know, again, GTX does have the acquire press release and going from there. So GTHX, it really just is that acquire press release. PETQ, anything over here? So want to see PETQ. This play, this one also has a 48% gap up, but another, press release is this? Is this getting acquired? Looks like PETQ, it has earnings reports. Oh, yep, PETQ has an agreement to be acquired. So whenever you get acquired, if that's PETQ, you have a big gap up, you just move sideways. GTHX right here, you have a big gap up and you just move sideways. So again, these plays probably are not going to be one of our top stocks that we want to be looking at right at the start. So we will be, again, staying smart, watching, waiting, going from there, and we'll be all set, ready to get this party started here. Traders, let's bring over our charts. Let's go over absolutely everything. Let's get ourselves dived on this day, and let's get ready to be able to make some cash. Let's get ready to make some money. So everyone, I'm excited on this one. I'm excited on this day. I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll, and I hope you guys are ready to make some cash here. Woo! I like it. I like it, traders. I like it. Now also, see someone over on YouTube saying, hey, Dek, I like how you're on YouTube right now nearly every single day. Well, guys, this is just because we are getting ready for our summer boot camp. Guys, starting up next week, we are not on YouTube every day. We are only on tradecaster.com, and we are only on for members for the boot camp. Remember, team, I'm letting you guys know right now, if you are on a monthly membership, you will not have access to the summer boot camp. So you will not have access to the summer boot camp if you're on a monthly membership. You must get a 6-month membership, a 12-month membership, or a lifetime membership. Now, on top of that, you guys can also get 10% off where you guys type in the promo code BOOTCAMP. You will get 10% off. So again, you are not paying these prices. You are again paying 10% off prices. You will also get access to the boot camp where we will be sending you a link every single day, and only people with 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime memberships will have access to the boot camp. So just a little heads on up. If you are not a member, come on over here, get 6 months, 12 months, or lifetime access, add the word boot camp to the promo code, and you will be all set, ready to go on that and ready to make some money. All right. So make sure if you guys are joining our boot camp. Now, again, today's a special day because today we are actually going to be going over all the mentors that are going to be part of this boot camp. So again, make sure you guys are excited. Make sure you guys are all set. Make sure you guys are fired on up. And yes, guys, you have to have that done by Monday to have access to the boot camp. It will be recorded and it will be sent out to you guys. So it will be recorded. It will be sent out to you guys as well for everyone who is part of the boot camp. But yes, traders, you must be on a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime. Monthly members will not have access. And if you are not a member at all, well, then of course you will not have access either. So again, traders, current members only. Current members, 6-month, 12-month, and lifetime. Let's get this party started. Let's get this day started, and let's see what we have on this opportunity for us. So S&P 500. S&P 500. Want to see what we have here. S&P 500. See if we can get a nice pullback. Remember, nice pullback areas, looking for those dips, looking for those good opportunities. I do think the S&P 500 is going to start off with a dip buy today. I think the S&P 500 is actually going to get weaker today. I expect if we spike up to 530, I think we will get some puts first. You know how yesterday I was very, yesterday morning, I was very hesitant of doing any sort of call contracts at all, correct? Or very hesitant to do any put contracts. Yesterday, I said, guys, I don't want to do puts. Yesterday, I believe that the market was moving up, moving up, moving up, and I was correct. It just kept going higher and higher and higher and higher. Today, I think it's going to be a mix and match of both. I think there's going to be opportunities on calls, and I think there's going to be very big drops, and I think there's going to be very big bounce plays. So I think there's going to be opportunities for everything over on these plays. Just make sure that you guys are on top of that. So the S&P 500 here, we do have very strong support back down towards around 524. If we get a morning spike up towards around like 530.50, 531, you could look for a put contract to be able to start bringing it back on down. You guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. And let's see what we have going on with this day. Got to turn on some music here, traders. Let's get ourselves absolutely, pumped on up on this day. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready on this day. I'm ready on this momentum that could possibly be bringing on in. It's going to be a big one. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, again, possibility of going long at the start of the day, seeing, again, the S&P 500 doing shorts above 531, and then looking for a reversal back on down. I do think we're going to find some very strong resistance up there around like 531, 50, 532. So right now we are still right in the middle. Dip buy area, back on down to 524. Put contracts up near around 531, 532. Right now, this play, S&P 500, staying alert here. S&P 500, we want to see where's this movement going to take us. We do have a little bit of an upper shadow to begin with. We did, again, spike on up, 1 minute time frame. Start with a nice little upper shadow. Things are getting a little bit weaker. We can throw on that VWAP indicator as well. Give us an idea of, when we are considered bullish and when we are considered bearish. S&P 500, 529.16 is currently the record high, or not the record high, the high of today. Trying to get myself completely dialed, ready to go. S&P 500, 529 down towards around that 528.30 mark. Does have the VWAP as some strong resistance, some weakness already starting to come on through. Now, Dek, why are we having some weakness already at the start of this day? Well, because remember, we are near some strong resistance as previous highs. If you guys take a look right here, this was right next to the old spiking high of yesterday. Old spiking high of yesterday was 529.76. 529.76, that was the old spiking high, right? So it's basically coming up to yesterday's high and now starting to give some gains on back. Do have that high. VWAP trying to hold on up. Crack of the VWAP, we could see a fade back on down towards around that 526-ish mark. S&P 500 starting with an upper shadow, bouncing off that VWAP here slightly. We can keep our eyes peeled over on SPX. That's what I always like to look at. Put contracts potentially over on SPX. The market orders. 5,300. We put ourselves in the money. We can go slightly out of the money. 5,295. Go over to tomorrow's expiration date. Tomorrow's expiration date, give us a little bit more time. 2 contracts at a time. I just want to see how much this would be. $6,000. All right. So again, let's keep our eyes peeled. Right now, S&P 500 traders, we are waiting and watching on this one. Waiting to see where this volume is going to take us. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up. Smash that thumbs on up over on YouTube. Also, if you guys have not noticed, I have started putting the shorting bootcamp over to the public over on YouTube. And if you guys have not checked that on out, that is absolutely huge. So yesterday I did put out shorting season day 1. If you guys have not watched shorting season day 1, it's a long lesson, 2 hours long. Make sure you guys go check it on out. Give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comments below so that you guys are all set, ready to go. Now today at the time of 1 o'clock, shorting season day 2 comes on out. Now again, why am I putting this stuff on out here, guys? Because I want to teach you guys some stuff before the bootcamp starts. Remember, the bootcamp's not just me next week. The bootcamp is with me and 9 other mentors. 30 days long, 3 days with each mentor, constantly, consistently learning strategies, learning how they became full-time, then again progressing to a new one. So you are always going to be getting this information. S&P 500 just came on up to 529.25 so far. Momentum is still strong. No news today either. No news at 10 o'clock. Momentum is still strong at this moment. Guys, momentum's still strong. We want to, wait for puts until above 530 most likely. 530 is where we want to be looking at. Now S&P 500. Let's see if that upper shadow forms. See if we do get a little reversal. S&P 500 here, traders. I want to see a pop. I want to see it keep going higher and higher. Better the put opportunities. We know 535 would be the absolute top if we can get there, but we might get a pullback back down towards, 526 soon, 527, but we know that 535 mark is the absolute top area. Remember, we have been waiting for that area. We've been talking about that area. Taking a look over on the S&P 500, we know that 535 is going to be the target. That's where we had black line, black line, black line, black line, black line. And again, guys can see right here, that's going to be a tough area to be able to break above and stay above. So let this thing keep on ripping. Guys, here goes the S&P 500 right up towards the end, 530. So we are being smart by not entering puts. If you want to do calls to the price of 530, you are still good to go. $529.98 so far. And I know as we get closer towards around that 534, 533, 535 area, that is where a lot of traders are going to start entering these puts. So it's like, we don't want to miss out on the put. We don't want to miss out on the reversal. We don't want to miss out on the drop. We don't want to miss out on the drop. We don't want to miss out on the reversal. But the thing is, traders, we also don't want to get in too early. We know we probably still have another anywhere between $2.50 to another probably $3. Now, at the same time, you could say, if you're on the call side, say, all right, we got to break through 530 next. I know I still got another $2.50 before I got to start getting pretty concerned. So if you are on the call side right now and you're just running it up on the call side, hey, that's beautiful. I love that. Right now, 530 on the dot over on the S&P 500. High of the day. S&P 500, new high of the day, now starting to squeeze its way on up and through. Let's let this thing keep on going a little bit more. I would love to see it. I would love to not waste time. I would love for this thing to just go straight on up. Don't be a consolidator. Don't sit around 530 for an hour, then go up to 532. Go straight on up. Straight on up will make our lives easy. We do have a little upper shadow, though, forming. Little upper shadow if that holds at this area. We know the S&P 500, larger the time frame, usually the better and the easier it is to be able to see things, though. Guys, S&P 500 got up towards around that 530 area. Penny stocks real quick. Anything right here? RR not doing too much penny stock world. ADTX not doing too much penny stock world. IDAI not doing too much penny stock world. Penny stock world not too much. How's the LUMN? LUMN was the only penny stock that a lot of traders really enjoyed and a lot of people really liked. Is starting to get a little bit weaker at this time over on LUMN. S&P 500 trying to again find some sort of support to be able to work itself back on up through around that 530 area. What's Apple doing today? Apple's still pushing its way on up. Apple's still pushing its way on up. I think the market's going to find trouble once Apple gets up towards around that, 50-day moving average. 213.80, probably right underneath that 213 mark, 213.80. That's going to be where I think, things are going to start reversing. I still think Apple has a little bit higher to go. I still think the S&P 500 has a little bit higher to go. I still think all these plays are going to still hit some new highs. Tesla, notice Tesla having trouble at the 200-day moving average. Got rejected at the price of 204. Got rejected at the price of 203. Got rejected at the price of what's this right here? 203.50. So that 200-day moving average right there, traders, that is definitely holding this on up very strong and is not easy to break through. Not easy to stay above at this moment. S&P 500, want to see if this thing can squeeze on up, break through 530 one more time, get a next leg. We want to see 531, 532. We want to see Apple go up another probably $2 or so, get on up towards around 213.80. Most likely I'm going to pull the trigger on the S&P 500 short, while again Apple comes on up to the 50-day moving average. So once Apple gets, I would say, above the price of 213 or even near 213, I think that means it's go time. Right now, Apple got up towards around 211.60. The SPY right now, S&P 500, basically coming back on down a little bit. I want to see. What do you guys like at this moment? Feel free to yell out in the chat room. What's your favorite game plan right now? What's your favorite stock right now? What are you going to be doing on this day? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you doing calls? Are you doing puts? Are you looking for shorts? Are you doing swing trades? Are you playing earnings reports? What's your money-making strategy this week? What has put you out on top? What has put you guys in the green? What have you done this week that said this has been able to make me the most amount of cash? So I want to see. I know the S&P 500, if you've been able to nail any sort of dip buy or bounce play, that's been beautiful. S&P 500, if you were able to nail any sort of big put contract last week into this week, that has been beautiful. So I'm playing NVIDIA. Awesome. So you're all set here. Love it, love it, love it. Kushdat, I can't go over the mid-candle breakout pattern too much right now because I want to get my trade. Watch this video though. Breakout chart setups. Switch on over to mid-candle breakout pattern. You'll be all set, ready to go. So there's that link right there. Watch that video. Just scroll on over to mid-candle breakout patterns. It'll go over everything you need to know on mid-candle breakout patterns. Probably it's going to be about 10 minutes in. You know, I have everything right there. Here comes the S&P 500 moving itself on up towards around that high of the day. Right now, S&P 500. I want to see this thing squeeze. The S&P 500 still squeeze. Let's see if Apple can recover here. Again, I want to see Apple pop on up, get us up towards that 50-day moving average. What I think is going to happen, traders, just little heads on up. This is my game plan. This is my idea. This is what I'm trying to put together here. What I think is going to happen is Apple is having an awesome morning so far. Now, when I take a look over on Apple, I could see the 50-day moving average is its strong resistance line. We hit it in its past 2 days ago, got a big rejection all the way back down to 202. Most likely, this blue line, the 50-day moving average, is going to hold up once again. Now, that area, watch to see this blue price, that is 213.80. So you can see 213.80 when I put it on today on this blue line. So Apple is one of the largest companies in the United States and one of the largest influences on the S&P 500. If I see that Apple is coming on up to its 50-day moving average at the price of $213.80, which is about $2.50 away, I am going to make the assumption that the S&P 500 is also going to turn and most likely get a nice drop on the day once Apple starts getting a nice turn and drop on the day. Same exact thing when I take a look, let's say, over on Tesla. Tesla has been having some issues at the 200-day moving average. We hit the 200, we get rejected. We hit the 200, we got rejected. We hit the 200 today. Guess what happened? Tesla came on up, hit the 200-day moving average, got rejected. So it's just about putting some pieces together. If I realize that the number one company that has the largest influence is coming on up to a strong reversal area, and I know that the S&P 500 has had 2 strong, going on our 3 strong big green days right here, I'm going to make the assumption that the S&P 500 is probably going to turn somewhere right around like 531.50. 536, because that's the price that most likely Apple is going to be coming on up and coming up towards the price of 213.80. So I'm watching Apple to be able to watch the S&P 500 on when that's going to reverse. Now I'm also watching the S&P 500 because I'm going to be trading SPX. SPX is the crazy version of the S&P 500. While you can make $100 on the SPY, you can make $500 on SPX. So really, I'm just playing a game of follow the leader here. I'm watching Apple to run up to the 50-day moving average. Then I'm watching the S&P 500 to see how high that's going to get up to while Apple is moving. Then I'm going to correlate the S&P 500 to SPX and then go ahead, get a contract, looking for a reversal back on down on put contracts. That's what I'm focusing on. That's my goal. Apple setting itself up in a bull flag pattern right now. And as Apple sets itself on up in a bull flag pattern, this is a great chance to be able to see a big squeeze and a nice rip on up. If you guys do not know what a bull flag pattern is, it's going to be when a stock has a spike, has a wedge, and then we get our next leg on up. Spike, wedge, next leg on up. You can see spike, wedge, next leg on up. Spike, wedge, next leg on up. Spike, wedge, next leg on up. Apple, spike, starting to get this wedge right here. You see top resistance, and then you can also see we have these higher lows. We're hoping to be able to get this into the corner, get the next leg on up. As Apple moves on up, S&P 500 should be able to follow up through it and be able to start hitting some new highs, even higher than 531, up towards around 531.50, 532. That's where we really want to be able to grab this and see if we could be able to make some action off of it. Apple at this time, though, still has some room to run. Apple still has a little bit of climb. 513.80 is obviously going to be the goal. So right now, team, explaining everything that I'm doing, making sure that you guys have a full understanding of it, because I want every single person to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why you guys are here, correct? Aren't you guys all here because you want to know exactly what I'm doing? You guys are all here because you want to know, okay, hey, how is Dek being able to make money in the stock market? So we have 213.80. Right now we're at 212. We still got another $1.80 to go over on Apple. Once Apple starts getting above the price of 213, it's really time that we want to start getting buckled in. It's a time we want to start getting dialed in. Notice how Apple is following the bull flag pattern setup though. So right now, Apple is following the bull flag pattern setup. We are seeing this beautiful little squeeze. Now we want to see this get extended. And as this gets extended and Apple is the huge influence and moves the market on up, we are going to be watching the S&P 500 as the S&P 500 also just hit a new high of the day. And we're looking to see how much higher can this go. So I'm just trying to think, if we get a reversal on Apple, I think that could lead towards a reversal on the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has bounced now from the price of $510 to $530. That's a $20 bounce. Green day over on Monday, green day over on Tuesday, green day so far on Wednesday. Let's see this go up another $1.50 and let's nail a reversal to drop back down to like $528. This could be a $5,000 day today. Now let me ask you guys right now. Does my game plan make sense? Dek, your game plan makes sense. Does my game plan make sense? Or does it sound like I'm just making things on up? Does my game plan make sense? Or does it sound like I'm just trying to pull things out of my butt and say, okay, maybe this will work? I think, again, right here, traders, I'm explaining exactly what I'm thinking. The exact move. We still got another $1.80 to go over on Apple. Here comes a new high of the day on Apple, though. New high of the day on Apple right now, which is great. Now, Lake Trader sounds like you know how to fish. Woo! That's how you eat, baby. I don't want to give you guys fish. I want to teach you guys how to fish. S&P 500 just hit another new high of the day. We still got about another $1 we want to be ripping up over on Apple here. We got about another $1 we want to be ripping up over on Apple. We want to get near that 513 area. Come on. Apple starting to move itself on up. Put that up on the top level 2 here. Apple's high of the day, 212.31 so far. 212.31 over on Apple. We don't want to see a big pullback just yet. We don't want to see a big drop just yet. We don't want to see everything start turning just yet. We want to see it go up a little bit higher. At least get up near around that 212.90 to 213 where we can say, okay, at least, you know, that's a great chance. So we did have that nice bull flag pattern setup, nice little squeeze. I don't want to see the S&P 500 turn too much either. I want the S&P 500 to still be pushing on up to that 531, 532 mark. Guys, Apple right now, a little bit of a pullback at this time. We want to see what's going to be able to hold. We have the game plan set. We have the game plan all set. We know exactly what we want to be looking for at this moment. Right now, SPY still sitting above that 530 mark, which is great. We want to see Apple back above that 212 area. Apple, get back above 212. Let's squeeze on up towards that 50-day moving average. Squeeze on up to that 50-day moving average is the goal. Squeeze up to that 200-day moving average or 50-day moving average, and that's where we're going to start making some money. I know we're being, again, pretty patient right now, waiting for that best move, but we'll get it. We will get it absolutely here. Apple needs to hold S&P 500 here, team. S&P 500 starting to get slightly weaker. Got up towards around what highs? S&P 500 has gotten up to 530.48. I mean, we're right there. We are only 20 cents away from hitting a brand new high and actually get a nice overextended move. Again, we want to see a couple sharp green candles, start getting a nice push. Get a couple sharp, green candles start getting some hype. Now, team, that SPY still again moving and climbing and ripping and running. And as we can see at this time, the AI hype is definitely getting weaker and weaker and weaker. The AI hype is definitely starting to fade a little bit, guys. The AI hype is definitely starting to die on off a little bit. I mean, the AI stuff is cool. Chat GPT, it's cool, right? Being able to type, I want this text to turn into an image, that's cool. But is it worth the billions upon billions of dollars that they have been investing into it? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's the big question that we have. Right, so I just a website here. Is this worth billions of dollars? So let's just type out a realistic photo of a man holding a suitcase full of money. He is wearing a tuxedo and is wearing a tuxedo and is standing in a hotel lobby. There is a beautiful woman next to him holding a glass of wine. She is wearing a bright red dress. Now you guys tell me, is this worth $1 billion? That Meta, that Nvidia, that super microcomputer, text to image, chat GPT, right? That's basically the questions that we have here. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see, how good is it now? Now I know again this stuff has been getting better and better and better, but how good is it? Okay, look at this. A realistic photo of a man holding a suitcase full of money. He's wearing a tuxedo and is standing in a hotel lobby. There's a beautiful woman next to him holding a glass of wine. She is wearing a bright red dress. Not bad. Not too shabby. They kind of switched the wine and the money thing. What do you guys think? Is this pretty good? For just making up a picture on the spot, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid there. I don't know if it's worth billions of dollars of investing, but I like it. Woo! Guys, take a look. Nvidia. As we're talking about Nvidia, starts getting very weaker. This black line is the VWAP. So this black line right here is the VWAP, traders. Is Apple bouncing back on up? Apple still trying to stay alive. S&P 500 also still sitting at the same area here, team. Guys, little side note. 10 o'clock is coming on up. Now, there is no news at 10 o'clock today. But what we do have, what we do want to be on top of, is that just at 10 o'clock, we always see movement. We always see action. So you guys can take a look right here. Wednesday, nothing at 10 o'clock. Nothing here at 10 o'clock. Nothing that's going to change anything. But I do want you guys to realize that obviously we could still see movement at 10 o'clock just because it's so kind of like adjusted. Every trader knows at 10 o'clock we usually see some sort of move. Is Apple starting to pile it on a little bit? Guys, Apple, we are still not at that 50-day moving average. But the S&P 500 is hitting some new highs. So the S&P 500 is going for some new high of the days. We just hit a new high at 530.60. And we know that this one could get up towards around that 535 mark if it ever wanted to keep on going. But we are going to keep on going until Apple gets up near the 50-day moving average. So right now, it is all calls until Apple gets up towards that 50-day moving average. Look at this, team. You guys think again, housing is getting cheaper? Think again. Weekly mortgage refinancing demand soars 16% as rates sink to the lowest level in over a year. The average contract interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage was conforming loan balances decreased to 6.55 from 6.82. Applications to refinancing a home loan, which are the most sensitive to weekly rate changes, jumped 16% for the week and were 59% higher. Applications for a mortgage to purchase a home just increased 1% for the week. So, team, I mean, we will see what happens with housing. We'll see what happens with home prices. We'll see what we get coming up in the near future. But I've talked about this a little bit before, team. All right? I talked about this a little bit before. I don't want to be the negative guy here. I don't. But this is what is going to happen in the housing market. Unfortunately, the housing market is not going to be improving anytime soon. Because this is what is happening. This is what will happen. We know that once COVID hit, back in 2021, everyone could now work from home. You could be able to work remotely. You could do whatever you wanted. So every single person said, hey, I want to go ahead and buy a house. This all stems from 2021, where housing prices just went absolutely off the charts. Now, every single person said, don't worry, it'll come on down. Don't worry, it'll come on down. Don't worry about it. Now, on top of that, we also had interest rates get dropped all the way on down to like 0%. You could go out and take a mortgage and not have to worry about it. You could go out and take a loan and you would have a 1% interest rate, a 2% interest rate, a 2.5 interest rate. Things were dirt cheap. We all know that. Now, we have been waiting for interest rates to get cut. We have been waiting for interest rates. People have been standing around. Home prices have been sky high. And now everyone's saying, I don't want to sell my home, because if I sell my home, I have to go buy a very expensive home. I'm going to wait until interest rates get cut. Now, how is that going to be helpful? Because once interest rates get cut, and now everyone's going to say, hey, interest rates are going to go get cut. Now I'm going to go out and take a loan for a home. And now we're going to have all of these competitors now saying, hey, I'm trying to buy a home. Yeah, interest rates are cheap. Now I want to buy a home. I want to buy a home. I want to buy a home. So now housing prices are only going to continue to go up even higher. So it's almost like a bad loop here, where we had low interest rates, so we had a very great demand. Now, the point of dullness, the point of the lull, no one wants to buy, but no one wants to sell. So once the time we do start cutting interest rates, everyone wants to buy again, and now the housing market keeps going higher and higher and higher. So it's almost like a little bit of a circle that only leads to higher prices. Traders, let's go ahead. We got Apple still moving ourselves on up. We have Apple still climbing here. We are getting very close to where we want to be. Now, where do we want to be? Right here. That is going to be 213.80. Now, that does not guarantee we will hit 213.80. We might go slightly under 213.80. We might hit 213.80 on the dot, or we might go even slightly above 213.80. Because if we take a look at the past 2 days, we can actually see there was an old spiking high right around this area. This old spiking high was up towards around, what, 213.50. So if we can get on up towards probably 213.20, it's a great area to start getting involved in something to say, hey, I am looking for this reversal in the near future. I am looking for this reversal to be able to come back on down here pretty soon. We also can see the S&P 500 continuously pushing itself on up. Very strong green candles from 530 to now 531 to now 531.50. So we are still pushing here, traders. Let's see how much higher Apple has. I want to see Apple get above that 213 mark. If you guys have been holding calls up until Apple gets up towards 213, That's beautiful. I'm already seeing some traders saying Dek and on the call side on SPX made $580. Boom. I love that. So if you're going call side up until the Apple hits that 50-day moving average, that's a great area to be able to ride it towards the upside before the reversal. Now Apple trying to get a little bit more hype. We're coming on up even more here. 5,320 put contracts, watching to see. Traders, we have Apple trying to move here. Let's go Apple top level 2. High of the day, 212.91 so far. Apple 212.91. Now we are at areas where any of these could be the high. We could see it 213.10, could be the high. 213.40 could be the high. 213.90 could be the high. 212.91 could be the high. We are all sitting right next to potential high areas. It's going to be very tough to know exactly where this high is going to be. S&P 500, obviously, came on up towards 531.59. Could be the high there. Possibly, why not trade put on Apple once we hit the VWAP? The VWAP's all the way down to 529.35. So that's a very big drop. See it go all the way on down and then look for a put contract. I mean, that would be, we kind of want to nail this, drop down to the VWAP and then even maybe a little bit more. Apple right here, team, already getting a little bit weaker, huh? Apple getting a little bit weaker. We were up towards around 212.90. Things are starting to get a little bit of a fade. S&P 500 also underneath that 531 mark now. Again, this is the most difficult part of trading. Getting an entry you feel confident with. Getting an entry you like. I want to see a little bit higher, but I feel like I might also be a little bit stingy at this moment. So let's see if the Apple could be able to squeeze on up a little bit more. SPY right here, still trying to push. SPY, we are watching SPX. Guys, things are getting weaker. Traders, I'm going to get myself involved. I'm just going to get myself, if this is the reversal and this is the turn, I'm going to at least do one contract. I will add more contracts as we go. But I want to at least have one contract in. It costs me $3,000 to get involved in just in case it falls and dumps here. If this falls and dumps, I don't want to miss it. I want to get some sort of profit because we have been way too close to be able to nail the nice trade and not be able to get paid from it. So the thing is, team, look at the SPY turning right now. Look at the SPY turning and dumping right now. Look at the SPY starting to get this weakness. Now, the thing is, traders, I am already up $250 over on this. Now, remember, it's tough to nail the exact high. The game plan has been absolutely perfect. The idea has been absolutely perfect. The trade has been absolutely perfect. The thing is, I wanted to at least jump in on one contract here because if I missed out on any sort of large dump, any sort of large crash, I would be kicking myself and saying, what the heck? You know, I'm 100% correct. I'm 100% right. I 100% have the right idea here. I want to be able to benefit in some manner. So the thing is, I did just pull one contract in just so if it does dump, as it's doing right now, I'm profiting from it, even off one contract. Guys, look at this dump. This is the biggest dump of the day. This is the biggest dump of the day we have right here. Biggest crash of the day. Look at this thing fall apart. We have now just gone from 531 down to 529.80. We're up $430. We're up over 10% in the matter of 30 seconds here. Is this going to keep on fading and falling? Traders, how great is this trade already? How great is this trade? If you guys had one contract, if you guys have two contracts, if you guys have 5 contracts, you guys are up probably $10,000 right now. Look how great this trade is so far. So congratulations to just be able to see that thing fade and fall and drop all the way back on down there. Just from traders saying, hey, you know what? That's just from the entire move from Apple. So if you guys want to take some profits, take your gains, take your profits, absolutely great. But notice what's really happening here. Apple came on up towards right underneath that 50-day moving average. Apple started getting that reversal, and now we are starting to see a little bit more of that drop. So I did not take my profits there. I am again right back to even at this point, but I do like this opportunity over on the S&P 500 to actually start getting that reversal now. Let's see if the S&P 500 can get that reversal. I know again, there was a nice bounce over on the 530 mark. 530 mark did have a nice bounce there. If we go on up towards around that 531 area again, you know, I will look to even just add a little bit, you know, just add one contract at a time. Dek, do you think we're going to be hitting a new high? I'll be honest, I don't believe so. I don't believe we're going to be hitting a new high. Apple definitely could still get back on up towards around that 50-day moving average, but I don't believe so. I believe, again, this is going to be right around the high, and we are going to fade back on down towards the VWAP in time. So if we pop on up, you know, I'm just going to add one more contract. And if we get up towards 531 again, add another one more contract. I believe the high is in at around that 531.59 mark. So I'm happy with my one contract. And what I'm more happy with, win or lose here, team, is just the fact of seeing that reversal right there. Seeing that crash. Knowing again and having predictability on that crash. Having predictability on that reversal. How's Apple doing? Apple's still trying to hold on up its uptrend. If you guys take a look right here, we do have Apple holding up this uptrend here. Have the SPY still trying to hold. I still think the SPY might get a little pop on up towards that 531 mark. I know, again, 535 is the ultimate target today. 535 is that ultimate target. We have Apple still trying to stay alive here. We have SPY still trying to hold itself on up as well. Can we start seeing some reversals back on down? Right now, I'm just basically sitting even over on this trade. I want to start seeing that fade. I want to start seeing that reversal. I want to start seeing that drop. If we do start moving on up in a hard manner, I can always get out. There's nothing wrong with breaking even. But if Apple starts, you know, moving itself back on up towards that 50-day moving average, then yeah, you know, I definitely want to be careful on this play. Remember, the ultimate goal is all the way up towards 535. That's the ultimate goal. All the way up towards that 535 mark. So technically on the chart, there is still more room to go. We want to see Apple, though, fade. We want to see Apple drop. We want to see that weakness here. S&P 500 sitting right around that 531 mark. They just get a hard drop. We nailed the biggest drop of the day. We nailed the biggest drop of the day, but now we want to be able to see, again, where is this thing really going to start turning? Still holding its gains right now, team. Dek, how high can this go up to? Remember, 535 area if it keeps on spiking. Now, what I'm happy with is we know that we've had a lot of momentum over the last 2 days. We know that over the last 2 days, Apple's moved up, S&P 500's moved up. That's been on Monday, that's been on Tuesday, and that's been going into today. That momentum has been very strong for the last 2 days. So the thing is, this momentum is continuing into day 3, into this morning. Now, we just need that one break. That one something to break to kind of turn off that momentum. That one break to say, all right, hey, it's now time to shift. It's now time to swing on over. But the S&P 500 still is looking like it's bullish at this time. I'll tell you guys right now, if we do not go back underneath and stay underneath 531 over the next 5 minutes, I am going to get out of this trade. So I do not want to flirt with the high of the day. If the high of the day happens, I can always just re-enter. I can always just get in at 533 then, 534 then. I can always get in at a better area. So if this is the high and we turn and we fade and fall, great. But if we hold 531 and 531 starts turning into support, I'm going to just get out, lose $100, no big whip-de-doo, and then again, we'll go from there. I'm happy we're able to nail this initial dip. I'm happy we're able to nail this initial crash. I'm happy to nail this initial, sell-off, but I do not want to hold this if it can continue to hold that 531 area. So let's see if we can get that turn. Right now, getting a little bit of that pullback back on down. We do have that 531 mark still holding up as strong resistance. We want to see again, Deck, what would be a great like goal on this trade? You know, back into the 528s. You know, a great goal on this trade would be backing down towards around the 528s. Start seeing some true weakness. You know, what I would like to see, as you guys know, is a little bit of lower highs. See a little bit of lower highs, see a little bit of fading, see a little bit of a drop here. Right now, team, still watching S&P 500. Still underneath that 531 mark. Great. A little bit of lower highs. It looks like we're getting a small little squeeze wedge. So you guys can see the wedge that we're trying to get ourselves involved in. So we have a little bit of a wedge at this time now, trying to set itself on up. We'll see how well this wedge is going to be able to continue to climb here. If we do get this big fade, this big sell-off, this big drop, beautiful. Again, anything underneath 530, obviously we're making, you know, $500 plus. And I mean, just think about it. To be able to, most people try to make 10% returns throughout a year. We could be able to make a 10% return in 2 minutes. S&P 500, still again, watching this wedge. Watching this wedge. Corner of the wedge is where our next big movement is going to happen. Corner of the wedge is where our next big move is going to happen, where that could be a quick spike, then reversal. The corner of the wedge is where we could start seeing a big drop or a big fade. We will definitely be staying ready for it. So we do have our trade right now. And I want you guys to obviously understand this trade. Understand what I'm looking at. Understand, again, what you guys are currently viewing. Why I'm in on this trade. Also, if Apple is falling, that's great because we want to see a crack. So, guys, what we really want to see here is we want to see a dump on Apple at this point. So, if we think about this, traders, you know, if we go with the trade that we have been set and planned out, we know that Apple came on up and got just short of that 50-day moving average. Just short of it. Now, I did not get as many shares or, as many contracts as I wanted. I only got one contract. But the thing is, it's because I knew we were coming up near 513. Let me do one contract just in case we dump. Apple at this moment is still holding this uptrend. If Apple cracks this uptrend, watch for the S&P 500 to crack underneath that 530 mark. We'll be able to make over $500 plus. I mean, making over $500 plus from one contract, I think is pretty excellent. So the thing is, Apple, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. Top of that resistance area was from that 50-day moving average that we were ready for. We are watching to see at this point, can Apple now, which is a monster influence in the market, be able to reverse, crack on down, start fading on down towards the VWAP. If we can start fading on down towards the VWAP, S&P 500 should be able to crack on down towards its VWAP as well, which is all the way down towards 529.50. So these are some ideas. These are some looks that we're trying to get here. This is what we're watching over on the S&P 500, but it does come on down to, can Apple fall underneath its uptrend as well? Let's basically kill the bulls. Let's take them to the slaughterhouse. Let's have ourselves some cheeseburgers later, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want. I want to get myself a nice steak. I want myself a nice juicy cheeseburger. I want the ass. I want all of it. So Apple, let's see if this thing can crack underneath 212. Start getting some weakness and go from there. That's the goal. Okay? So we'll see if we can get that. Here comes Apple, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Now, if Apple bounces, the SPY will bounce. S&P 500 or Apple right now starting to fade. Let's see if we can get that crack. Let's see if Apple can get that crack through this uptrend. It's more like right here. Put this in a dark line so it really stands out. We want to see Apple fall underneath 211.50, start really killing off this play. Now, you'll also notice my profits are going to start going up. My profits will go up as Apple falls. Not that I'm in Apple, but because it has such a large influence over on the S&P 500. So if Apple can crack this trend line and we start seeing another red candle underneath this and we start going back on down towards 210, We're going to start seeing the S&P 500 down towards 529.20. We're going to start seeing some true weakness. So right here, team, we could see the S&P 500 sitting on its trend line now. So we have trend line over on the S&P 500, and we also have trend line over on Apple. Now, let's be smart trader, guys. Smart trader, what could a smart trader do right now at this moment? If you realize, hey, this could bounce here. Apple could bounce back up above its uptrend. We could see the S&P 500 bounce right off this orange line. I'm going to put into its uptrend. You could say, you know what, Dek? I don't want to take the risk of holding any longer. Let me just take my profits when I have them. I've never cried. I've never been upset making a free $375. But the issue is sometimes when you take profits when you have them, you miss out on that potential dump. Now we're at 460. Now we're at 465. Now we're coming up to $500. We have the S&P 500 starting to reverse now. Now we're up almost $600 over on this play. Now we're starting to get weaker. There's the VWAP bounce. I'm taking my profits at the VWAP bounce, guys. $500 in profit. Guys, congratulations. Did every single person here make at least $500 in profit? Now remember this, traders. That was not a large investment, was it? That was not a large investment. That was a $3,000 investment, and I was able to get nearly a 15% return in the matter of about 30 minutes. If I, again, kept on holding, notice the S&P 500 still dropping. Notice the S&P 500 getting even weaker. Notice the S&P 500 is fading. I'm going to make the assumption that Apple is also probably getting a nice little crack and starting to fade and fall. This is what I want you guys to see. Because while we have our summer boot camp starting up on Monday, we're also going to be doing a small account challenge coming on up this fall. And it's going to be making trades just like this. Trades that we can think through. Trades that we can say to ourselves, this makes sense. Trades where we could say, hey, you know what? If I keep on holding because I see this over on the chart, I'm able to perfect it. I am not here to say, hey guys, I'm going to hide all my trades. I'm going to hide all my P&Ls, and I'm not going to tell you anything that I'm doing. I'm here to make you money. I'm here to make sure that you guys understand how the market works. The S&P 500 is dumping at this moment. How did we predict this? How did we find this? How did we know this was going to happen? How did we make $490 off a $3,000 investment? How did we have the right timing? How did we have the right confidence? These are all things that we're putting together in the puzzle. These are all ideas that we can do every single day to make easy money. Or we could do this. We can go on over towards Twitter and just, randomly click the home page and go on over here and say, okay, come on, someone please tell me something good. Please, someone tell me something. Someone tell me again something I should buy. Tell me something I have going on here, right? It's like, I have no idea. Little bro got saved by a windshield. It's like, so many people are just randomly putting things on the internet and hoping that they're correct, and we're randomly following that. I want you guys to literally learn how to trade, not follow trades. Learn how to trade, learn how to be successful. There we go. What do we got here, traders? Already, we got JSID, 5 contracts on SPX, just made $2,850. Nice. One Shot Fodge just made $500. Thanks, Dek. Love the Wolf. Chook going $600. Thanks, Dek. Shout out to you. Love it, love it, love it as always. So you guys deserve that. You guys earn that. You guys deserve those profits there. I love it, baby. I love it, baby. I love it, baby. I love it, baby. So remember, traders, if you guys are joining us for the boot camp, I'm going to be stating it a lot. Before Monday, you must be on a 6-month or 12-month membership before Monday. Come on over here, click annual membership, click buy now, type in the word bootcamp. You type in the word bootcamp, you get 10% off. You will then receive access to the bootcamp this weekend. We will send you a link. Monthly memberships does not get the bootcamp. 6-month, lifetime, and of course 12-month memberships get the bootcamp. You guys could pay for it, or you could type in bootcamp and get 10% off. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Make sure you guys do that all before Monday or you will not get access. I'm going to teach you guys exactly how I do this. I'm going to teach you guys exactly how we make this happen. Teach you guys step by step, of course, what we do here. So make sure you guys are all set. So Bootcamp is the code word. Get yourself, again, 6-month, 12-month membership so you guys are all good here. Right here, S&P 500. So watching this. Now, the next thing that we want to be aware of is that the S&P 500 is getting a perfect, has this uptrend. You are most likely going to hit some resistance at 530.20. So if you wanted to kind of flip the script real quick, right? You notice how you're getting this bounce play? When you come up to 530.20, you could actually say, hey, you know what? 530.20, bounce, 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 bounce. You could hit that area, 530.20, 530.25, hit it, turn right back on down. So a lot of times you guys do it, like hit these areas, these walls, and then you're going to turn right back on down. Right now, team, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Happy birthday to the kid. For those who do not know, it is my birthday today. How old do I look, guys? 18? How old do I look? 18? 21? 49? I'll be okay. You know what? I'm gonna say something that maybe you agree or disagree with, okay? And this is not a joke, okay? I think, I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe I've always looked my age. From like the age of 21, I look like a 21-year-old. When I was 28, I look like a 28-year-old. When I'm 30, I look like a 30-year-old, right? And I feel like I've been pretty good with sticking in my lane. Now, hopefully, when I'm 50, people say, oh, I don't know you're 50. I thought you were at 39. I mean, we'll get there when we get there. But right now, I feel like I'm sticking to my lane pretty well. There's a couple people I know that are off the deep end. You ever see, you know what I saw the other day? My fiance, she's a nurse, and she does labor and delivery. And the thing is, sometimes she comes in with these pictures of these labor and delivery and these babies. There's sometimes these babies that literally look like 80-year-old men. And I can't even imagine what they're going to turn out and look like. You ever see one of these babies that look like a full adult? They're standing up somehow. They're popped on up, sitting, and they just look like a full adult. They have years of memories and stories and knowledge. I don't know how that happens. Guys, thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. Came on out here August 7th, 1993 in Paterson, New Jersey. That's where I was born. Paterson, New Jersey, 1993. 11 pounds, 3 ounces coming out of my mother. Woo! What a time. What a big day. What a big day that was. S&P 500. The doctor ran in and said, ma'am, I gotta let you know, I've never seen a baby this adorable, this huge, this athletic. And my mom said, I don't know what to tell you. And then he goes, no, this is a special baby. He already has a 30-inch vert. He's already, again, throwing the correct way. Left foot forward with, again, great release. I mean, it was incredible. How many babies do you guys think have ever been mixed up? How many times do you guys ever think someone got the wrong baby? I mean, they all look alike at the start. Stuff. One little intern? I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. Guys, S&P 500 starting to come back on down. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. S&P 500, 80TX here. Anything there? RR, no. ANGI, SLRX, BIG. So we are watching this at this moment. Traders, can we take a second? Do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to meet the mentors that will be, again, teaching you guys over for the boot camp? I think this is going to be a good time. We go over some of this. These are the mentors that are going to be teaching you guys and showing off over on the boot camp. This will be, again, an exciting time. So we can go over all of this here. So let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to go here. Let's get excited. Let's get ready to kind of dive right on in. All right. So, big time here, traders. People have been asking. They have been saying, I hear the whispers. I hear the whispers here, people. Everyone's wondering. Everyone's wondering. I mean, it was on ESPN. It was on Fox News, CNBC. Everyone's saying, who are the other mentors that are going to be on the Tradecaster Bootcamp? Remember, 30 days of teaching, 3 days with each mentor, 10 mentors total. You are going to be getting 10 different strategies, learning how these traders were able to become full-time traders. So let's go ahead. Let's introduce some of these mentors to you guys and make sure you guys understand who they are, what they are going to be teaching. First one. Here I am, baby. So, obviously, I will be part of the boot camp. Obviously, I'm going to be teaching you guys in depth my trading strategy, fundamentals, technical analysis, psychology, making sure that you guys have an understanding of what I like every single day in the stock market. So, we will be starting on off 3 days working with me, making sure you guys understand my fundamentals, principles, strategies, and some tips and tricks to make sure that you guys are being successful in the stock market. Next on up, we are going to be bringing over, of course, a fan favorite as well, and that is going to be Mr. AK-47 Josh Smith. 7 years of trading, shorting trendline cracks, buying breakouts, bounces, the Thanos crossover, using these strategies from small caps to large stock caps. Went full-time in 2018 with a $3,000 account. He made $25,000 while living off it as a side income. He's made almost $50,000 in 2019, then $100,000 in 2020, all off and on underneath that PDT rule. In 2021, he made $170,000, and again in 2022, all from, again, small caps, shorting, and playing, again, mid-cap plays. In the Trade Alert Challenge that he had, he was able to have 277 wins with only 23 losses, bringing in over $300,000 in 2023. Shout out to AK-47. Shout out to this man. He's going to be joining us over for the summer boot camp. Another person that we're going to be having over in the summer boot camp is Mr. Zachary Hopper. Zachary Hopper. He's the CFO of Focal Point South Consulting for, again, financial advising, private equity consulting firm, general partner of our fund's investment desk, 22 limited partners. So you guys may have seen some of his alerts over in chat. This is a man who, again, has a plan, who has been in and out of the game, knows it thick and through. So Zach Hopper is going to be one of the top dogs, of course, teaching over in the summer boot camp as well. CFO of Focal Point South Consulting. We also are going to be bringing on over Steven Gator Trader. New York native with a career managing high-value projects worth tens of millions of dollars. Seasoned stock trader with 70 years of experience has crossed over $640,000 in trading profits. Currently, he's a manager managing $150,000 in funded accounts. So that is going to be another mentor that you guys are going to be having coming on up. Another mentor that you guys are going to be having is Kush, another loved trader here over on Tradecaster. 4 years of trading experience using TradingView, Thinkorswim for charting. He experts in level 2 time and sales, over $8 million in funding, experience with Ninja Interactive Brokers, Ninja Trader, and Thinkorswim. Taking on over for the future side, we are going to be using our man Caesar. Caesar started on off as an immigrant from third world country turned trader investor. Back when, again, people used to use Tim Sykes, he was a top 5 trading challenge student, was able to cross $1 million in the trading challenge. Experience with listed stocks, options, futures, and commodities, and he is a co-owner of a funding prop firm. So that is absolutely great as well. We are going to also be having Anthony from Policing Pips. Started trading futures in 2017, then moved to future equities and options. Passed his SIE and a Series S7 to trade professionally with T3 on equity side, focusing on futures and leveraging and funding companies. Macro fundamentals, supply and demand, trading psychology, and elevated by trading. So that is going to be absolutely huge, absolutely awesome. Another, again, always brings the energy. You guys know him of Yeah Buddy. A 20-year-old stock trader, came from trailer parks, food stamps, and bottle services. Yeah Buddy getting after it here. You can feel his energy from this post. Taking multiple traders who know not anything, beginners, and be able to get them within their first 3 months of trading, helping over 47 students, 13 active students get out of their rat race. Trading with very straightforward strategy with a 96% win rate. Absolutely love it. A great friend, Mohammed Hassan. Main focus is technical analysis and market conditions, studying chart patterns and formations to make the best trades possible using Thinkorswim, Ninja Trader, and Trade Zero. 3 funded prop accounts so far this year. So again, he's a prop firm trader. He has had success with over 3 different prop firm accounts, being able to make a full-time living. We also do, and I don't have a poster yet, for J Trades. J Trades, another fan favorite over in chat. So guys, these are going to be some of your mentors. We will have a couple surprise mentors as well, but you are going to be entering a boot camp, a 30-day period where you are going to work with each one of these guys for 3 days straight, then switch over to a new guy. We are going to have everything set in stone from, again, teaching you just the pure strategy of how you can become full-time, how they make money, and what they do to come out on top. So again, shout out to everyone, all these guys that are joining us for the summer boot camp, teaching you guys absolutely everything. And I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are fired on up. And if you guys are right now, let me see you in the chat room. Let me see you guys get excited. Let me see you guys right here and right now, and hit me with a good old Dekmar trades. Woo-hoo-hoo! Because it is going to be a blast. It is going to be a fun time, and it is going to be hot and wild. So traders, get excited for that. That is the summer boot camp starting up this Monday. Use the code Bootcamp and get yourself going here, traders. Let's get it. It's going to be a fun time. Woo! Give me 1 second, trader.
There's a party going on right here.
All right, team. Awesome job. Awesome work from everyone here. And let's get ready to go. 10:36 in the market at this time. 10:36 in the market at this time. Obviously, we're fired on up. Obviously, we're excited. What's the SPY doing here? SPY starting to get a little bit weaker. SPY starting to fade on down here slightly. Again, we did nail that dump. We did nail that crack. We did nail that weakness here. And we want to see if the SPY is going to be able to give us anything new, anything else here. I think the SPY is going to come back on down towards around 527.60 and then probably get a bounce play from here. So I'm thinking, again, SPY comes back on down towards around this channel area. Right around 520, probably even a little bit lower. 527.40, 527.25, and we get a bounce off this area. So I'm going to say next possibility for a trade is going to be either you do a put contract on the next little pop of the VWAP, or you wait until it comes back on down towards around 527. What's your pleasure? Also, traders, as I already talked about, what I am very excited for coming on up is going to be this right here. Future updates coming to FoxRunner, the politician data. Anyone registered with the United States government that works for a political party must document their trades and be willing to show it. Please feel free to email us if you want to. And again, you can email them, not me. So you guys can see congressional trading, recent trades in the U.S. Congress. And it shows every person that's going to be making a trade. You can see what they bought or sold, the top traders, and of course you can click their name. Once you click their name, it's going to give you their full portfolio. So once again, you click their name, it'll show you what they're doing, how much money they have invested. It'll show you all their sales, and it'll also give you a graph of their current portfolio. So that's going to be coming on up, I believe, in 30 days. So again, I want to let you know, Mark, from next 30 days, increased speed, full gap scanner, affiliate program, and again, politician data. So that's going to be really cool. That's going to be really interesting. And I know, again, we were able to give you guys FoxRunner for the first kind of, the first program here, version 1. So they are going to be coming out with version 2 coming on out at the beginning of September. So version 2 comes on out with the beginning of September. I hope you guys have enjoyed FoxRunner. I hope you guys enjoy using it. I was, as I said, I was part of the board to be able to help create it, as in, be able to give designs for the news scanner. So, I personally love it. I support them, and I will continue using it every single day, and just, trying to give any sort of positive feedback that I can. But I hope you guys use it. I hope you guys love it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So right now, traders, let's see here over on the S&P 500. S&P 500 is definitely getting weaker, has room to fall back on down towards the low 527s. Right now, SPY still watching this one here. S&P 500. Let's see if this thing is going to get a little bounce. Looking for that next move. I mean, obviously, the best move of today was the move we nailed. Getting in on S&P 500 above the price of 531, holding it all the way on down, seeing this thing, it could be able to continue to crack. So again, the best move of the day, we were able to nail. Apple right here, same exact thing. Apple had a nice move, but is starting to work itself back on up here just slightly. Reese, with LUMN being E, easy to borrow, does that impact the short volume movement? I'm just going to tell you guys this. I don't know if it's true or not, but whenever I see easily accessible for shorts, the stocks just always seem to go higher. Usually when a stock dumps, it'll always have an L. But whenever I see easily accessible for shorts, it seems like there's always more consistency. Now that could just be because that maybe the stock is getting so many shorts, people are getting squeezed out of the shorts, which makes it go higher. It makes it go higher. It makes it go higher. It makes it go higher. So it seems like every single time it goes on up, it just keeps getting squeezed out, and maybe just keeps getting squeezed, and just higher and higher and higher and higher. Right now, SPY still watching this one. SPY definitely getting weaker though. But if Apple keeps moving on up, if Apple keeps going, traders, we will see a little bit more hype. Now the thing is, team, we could still go back to the same exact game plan. We could go back to the same exact game plan. Play again Apple for it to get up towards around that 513.80 mark. 513.80, get up to Apple, hit that reversal button, and then see if that thing can keep on falling. So the S&P 500, we might get a little bit of a spike up towards around like 530 again as Apple progresses up towards around that 213.80 mark. So we might get another little trade here. SMCI, what's that one doing? SMCI all the way on down now. Yes, SMCI potential dip buy and bounce play 500, 490. I could imagine that, guys. 500, 490. SMCI start getting a little bit of a dip buy and bounce play. I mean, how strong is $500 support? Let's think about this, team. I want to actually see over on Google. Two things I want to look at. First thing, I want to look at Bitcoin's price. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's at 55,000 now. So Bitcoin is at 55,000. Let's go over and take a look over on SMCI stock. SMCI, I'm interested. How much is this up here? We're down 17%. What is it year to date? Year to date, hey, we can't have that many tiers. We're still up 77%. Over the past 1 year, it's up 44%. Over the past 5 years, it's up 2,800%. So, you know, it was all the way up, what? I don't know, 300% at one point. I think Apple is starting to make its move. Apple trying to move itself back on up, team. Let's go ahead and take a look over on Apple. AAPL. We know this will have strong resistance in $1. $1 will be our next mean strong resistance line. Apple trying to push itself on up. I am watching Apple over on the level 2. I do know there could easily be a reversal right around that 50-day moving average. I'm thinking we will get a little bit of a pop, get a little bit of a move, and then see that thing turn on down. So give it about a $1 move, I think. $1 move over on Apple is going to be the goal. Reese, Chuk saying, Deck, will you trade individual stock options? Like what? Do I ever trade just Apple straight? Not often, to be honest. You know, a lot of times I just trade the S&P 500 or I'll trade again, you know, SPX. It's not very often that I will trade, you know, like Apple or Tesla. Sometimes I do, but, you know, a lot of times I just kind of go more with the overall market rather than trying to pick, you know, what is this one stock going to do? Now, you know, Apple, on the other hand, I do think it's going to be able to pop on up towards around that 213.80 mark, and I think we'll get a reversal right around there. So right now we got Apple still trying to move on up. Not touching Apple until that thing gets all the way up towards around that. Look at this. Take a look at the SPY. Look how the SPY just squeezed all the way on up. Traders, SPY just had a little bit of a squeeze all the way back on up. What's going on here? Again, Apple's still pushing. So Apple's still pushing. All right, let's see if we can get that, you know, 213.60, 213.70. You know, we might see the S&P 500 all the way back up near the highs and try to get one more trade here. So we have the SPY, the S&P 500, all set at this moment, waiting and watching over on this play. We want to see, can this thing squeeze on up? I mean, take a look how close Apple is at that high. that Apple, you know, it's very close. It does seem like right now the bulls are in control. S&P 500 is trying to move itself back on up as well. Could easily go all the way up towards, you know, 531 plus. If you do get a quick little pullback, back on down to 530 support's going to be its main support line. Right now, I'm just kind of watching and waiting to see what's going to be happening here, team. I'm looking for that next possible move. Right now, Apple, guys, Apple's still trying to move itself on up. There's a new high over on Apple. So Apple coming on up. 50-day moving average, going to be very strong resistance. 213.80, strong area of resistance here. $50-day moving average still at that 213.80 mark. Still got about 40 cents here. So the 50-day moving average team still watching this one. Top resistance, 213.80. And then again, we want to see if the S&P 500 is also going to reverse at that area. It's probably going to be right around the high of the day. So we just know that's where we could start seeing a little bit of a turn. I'm thinking about just having an entry all set and ready. 5,320. Let's go a little bit higher. 325 put contracts. Start with one contract. Could always add more if we want to. August 8th, because we want it to be probably a little quicker. All right, let's go even August 9th if we want to hold a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, though. We still have Apple. Got up to 213.31. We want to see this thing get up to 213.80. 213.80, we can look for puts over on SPY and SPX, as we know, again, things are most likely going to start turning and fading there. Right now, traders, we are still watching. We are still waiting here. Dek, how'd you do in your golf tournament the other weekend? I did great. I came in 10th. 10th ain't bad. I got another one, though, this weekend. So we'll see how I do. This one is more, it's a big one. So I'm excited to see if I can go low this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. This is basically a qualify. So basically, whatever, how many people show up, I don't know. I think right now there's like 176 people. Only the top 16 qualify to go into the next round. So I got to make the top 16. That's my goal. I think if I shoot, I don't know, 1 or 2 over again 2 rounds, I'll be in. So that's kind of my goal. Keep it as low as possible. Low as possible. Right now, S&P 500 getting a little bit of a turn. I don't want it to turn too much yet. I want Apple to still, again, spike this thing on up. Right now, we're right next to that 213.80 mark. Now, again, I'm happy. I'm happy because we already made a trade. I'm happy because we came out green. And what I'm even more happy about is that was the play that we have been watching and waiting for this whole entire morning. That was the play that we were watching, waiting on. And again, we absolutely nailed the biggest move of the day so far. So the biggest move of the day, the biggest reversal of the day, that is what we nailed. And that, again, gets me absolutely fired on up. Got Apple still watching this play. Guys, Apple's still going. We still got another about 50 cents over on Apple. Apple, we still got another about 50 cents here. And then once we get up towards that area, that's when we want to start looking for reversal times. So I want to see Apple at 213.80 before I even pull the trigger. We might go up to 213.90. We might even see a 214. But that's where I think, again, we could start seeing a lot of great potential movement. Apple still moving on up. 213.80 is our target for our first entry. And then again, anything up near 214 or 214.20, that could be a great entry as well to be able to add our second contract to be able to see if we can reverse from there. So if I had to take a guess, I do think we will see that 214 mark on Apple. I think we'll get up to like 214.40, 214.50 if I had to take a guess. But you can always start with just one contract early if you want to, just so you don't miss out. Then add contracts higher up as you want. Right now, the SPY is still sitting right next to, you know, just underneath the high of the day. Has a little bit of a bull flag set up. I feel like we're going to get a little bit of squeeze and spike. So I do feel like we're going to get a little squeeze and spike right back up towards around that high of the day as, again, Apple starts squeezing and spiking. Apple's being very slow though right now. It's, you know, it's moving itself on up. It is moving itself on up, but it is being very slow at this moment, moving itself on up. So moving itself on up in a very slow manner. Still getting a little bit of reversing, traders. I want to get, you know, one more nice trade here underneath my belt. I want to get one more nice trade here underneath my belt. Try to push my profits up to around $1,000 today. I know, again, penny stocks haven't done too much. ADTX isn't bad. ADTX is not bad, but penny stocks haven't done too much since the S&P 500 has come crashing on down. So ever since the S&P 500 got very weak, you know, penny stocks just haven't really gone on any sort of big spike or climbs. Right now, Apple still just sitting there. SPY. Watch the SPY to get a pullback and then still try to squeeze itself on up. I still think, again, it's right there, still waiting for this move. Well, SPY's starting to turn and fall a little bit, turning and fading a little bit. Traders, I do want to open up the floor. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns to me right now? So any sort of questions, comments, or concerns from anything that we've gone over so far today. SPY is starting to turn. Apple is starting to turn at this moment. So far, we did get a great trade in. Was able to lock in just shy of $500 on the day. That was only a $3,000 investment. Was able to make about a 15% return on it, which was absolutely great. We also went over all the mentors coming on out for the summer boot camp, as we know. And I'm looking forward to just seeing what we have. SMCI... waiting for the break of 500. Yeah, I mean, so I will say this. I will say if SMCI cracks underneath 500, I think it'll find support at around 460. If you do not get a bounce at 500, I would say 460 would be the area. So I would say 500, a lot of people will look for a bounce play. 460 would be my next area. So 500 and then 460 on SMCI. What I am more excited about, to be honest, is what's the next hot trend? What is the next hot trend? Is the next hot trend going to be, you know, who knows, right? Is the next hot trend going to be metaverse stuff? Is it going to be autonomous driving? Is it going to be graphene? Is it going to be hydrogen? Is it going to be nuclear power? You know, there's just so much that, you know, could be going on here. Dek, how many strokes are you going to give us at the masterclass? No strokes, no mercy. So everyone that's coming out to Utah, guys, I'm excited. That's about a month away, almost a month away. So September 17th, we'll be heading on out to Utah for, again, the golf trip. And again, it's gonna be days of golf for sure. But there's also going to be, we have one of the customers, or not the customers, one of the members over here on Tradecaster actually lives down there, and he's going to be bringing his wake boat. So we're actually going to be going to the lake. We're going to go tubing. We're going to go wakeboarding. So we're going to do that. We're going to be able to hang out by the house and be able to go swimming. We are going to be going golfing, but we also, of course, are going to be trading every single day. We'll go out, get some dinner. So yeah, you know, I was, you know, speaking to some of these guys, and you know, I'm absolutely fired on up. Let me see if I can find this real quick. But yeah, that is going to be an absolute blast. I'm so fired up and I'm so excited for that. So this is his boat. He just sent me pictures of it and he said, Dek, she's all set, ready to go for the Mastermind. So if you guys are again excited to do a little bit of a lake day out there in Utah, we're going to be doing that, taking the members out there. Got some music blasting, hanging on out, doing some wakeboarding, some surfing. That's going to be another fun day out there with the squad. So everyone coming over towards this September, the Utah Mastermind. It's going to be a real fun one. Right now, SMCI starting to get a little bit weaker here. When is it okay to use same day expiration? Right at the start of the day. After about 11 o'clock, you don't want to use same day expiration. Use the next day expiration. How do you think Oxy will do on its earnings today? Honestly, guys, earnings are just pure gambles. Unfortunately, I cannot give you just, I cannot give you the fact of like, oh, it's going to go up or down. I really have no idea. So I don't really ever like giving you a, oh, this is going to happen or this is going to happen. I don't have an idea of what's going to happen. It's just, and earnings is the only people who knows are insiders. That's it. But what you can always do, which again is always extremely helpful, is something that helps me figure out what earnings are going to be doing, is I look at the insider information. So you can go over towards the insider information, and what's the ticker? Is the ticker just OXY? So if the ticker is just OXY, we can go through and we could see, who's buying and who's selling. Are there any recent updates? Is there any recent selling in any sort of way? And then go from there. So we'll wait for this to load on up, and then we can actually go ahead and take a look and see if there's any insider buying or selling here. I might have to refresh this. There it goes. So OXY. Any sort of buying or selling. So if you take a look right here, what date was this? So this is insiders. And this was back on, so this was a little while ago. You guys can see this is February 4th. We did have Berkshire Hathaway, Berkshire Warren Buffett buy OXY at $56.75 and $57.98 per share. So again, Berkshire Hathaway bought into this. You could see that it was stock awarded a grant. There really hasn't been too many, so no one's been really selling it. I mean, we haven't seen any sort of insider selling over on OXY since 2022. So that's a great sign to see that. You can go over to the Form 4s here, type in OXY, and let's just see if there's anything recent. Monday 6-17. So Monday 6-17 here. We are having acquire. So we are having Berkshire Hathaway, Berkshire, Warren Buffett, acquiring shares here. So that is, bringing in some hype. So again, all good things. If you see Berkshire Hathaway acquiring OXY or buying shares of OXY, that's a great sign. That's a great start. Dekmar, hey Dek, I funded my Lightspeed account with $2,500. Nothing's working. Is it a 5K minimum? No, you just have to be on the web platform. So again, be on the web platform for $2,500. After you once you get above 5,000, you can use the program you see on my screen. Let's see if the spy's still working its way back on up here slightly. Right now, I want to see if the SPY is going to get one more pop and get after one more trade here. We are getting 11 o'clock right now at this moment. S&P 500 getting a little bit weaker. So right now, the SPY, we are staying alert on this thing. Right now, 11:01 a.m. watching the S&P 500. Guys, S&P 500 getting a little bit of a pullback. If you want to look for a quick trade, it would be a dip buy off the VWAP. It's a little bit of a scalping trade. Scalping trade, VWAP is 229.59. So if you want to look for a quick one, quick trade, guys, probably do like 2 contracts. August 9th, 5,310. See this thing get a quick little dump and then maybe bounce right back on up if you ever want to look for a very quick scalp. Apple, as you guys can also see, is getting a little bit weaker right now. So Apple getting a little bit weaker at this time. SPY starting to fade on off here. Dek, you got any big birthday plans for your 31st birthday? Well, guys, I don't know. Not tonight. Might get a little crazy. Tonight might get a little wild. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm heading on down to Dave & Buster's. I do have my skee ball league tonight. Last year we came in second. This year we are in first place at this moment, so could get a little wild. Sometimes on a Wednesday night at Dave & Buster's, again, the vibes are right, the drinks are flowing, the wings are being eaten, and you just never really know what's going to happen. Next thing you know, you walk out of there with a big stuffed teddy bear, and you wake up in the morning and you say, what the heck happened? You have, again, your pockets and pants filled with, again, thousands of tickets ready to be cashed in so you can go get that brand new snow globe. I've been there. I've been having those crazy times before, guys. Hey, you look at me and you might say, oh, that guy's 31. He's never been in his 20s. Guys, I was in my 20s before. I know how nights can get a little crazy at Dave & Buster's, and all of a sudden you just wake up with all those tickets that you won. I've had my nights. I understand. Right now, S&P 500 starting to push itself on up a little bit more. SPY still looking for that pop. I think the S&P 500 is going to try to get a little bit of that squeeze here. It looks like it wants it. It looks like it wants a little bit of that squeeze. I'm literally thinking about jumping in on a quick little scalp play. I'm going to give it a chance, guys. I'm jumping in for a squeeze here, and I'm going to scalp one out. I think it's going to try to rip and run up towards that old high. If I just make even just on the one contract, if we break the S&P 500 531 mark, if we break 531 and we can squeeze on up and I can get a free $100, $200, I'll take it. Because I think Apple right now is going to try to run up towards its high. Apple's really close to its high. And the S&P 500 is also just right there looking for its high. So I'm looking for more of a little scalp play here. Can we break this 531 mark? Get a little bit of a rip and run, get a little bit of a pop, get a little bit of a climb here. I want to see if we can. If this does not work out, I'm just going to get out, move on from it. But I think we could easily break that 531, try to squeeze ourselves on up and be able to get a little bit of that, a nice potential. If we get a little pullback, I might even add one contract or so. But we just had a nice, little green candle, kind of like a little slingshot. You pull the stock back to release it forward. That's what I'm looking for. Little slingshot effect. Pull the stock back, nice little bounce play. Now release it forward. Just bah! That's what I'm looking for. I just want to see if I can make a quick $100. Quick free $100 here, especially if Apple starts moving its way on up. If we can get above that 531 mark, that's been the main resistance line. 531 right here. 531 right here, 531 right here, 531 right here. If we can get a couple bids of the bids over on the level 2 above 531 and we can run up to 531.20, man, we'll get paid out nicely. Again, it's testing 531. That's really what I'm looking for at this moment. Get a couple bids above 531 here. 96, 97, 104, 105. We're up 60. 4, 10, 9. Come on, squeeze here. Squeeze up towards the highs. Squeeze up to the highs. We're up $70 right here. I just want like a free $100. Give me again some Dave & Buster tickets tonight. Here's again $65. Again, a little slingshot effect, I call it. Basically the stock gets pulled back to let it go forward. That's what I want to see. Stock gets again pulled back to let it go forward here. But right now we're still having trouble at that 531 mark. Apple's still going. We want to see if Apple can get up towards 213.80. Again, 213.80 is still the goal over on Apple. We do have the S&P 500 right here. Little pullback still. Right now, SPY, is Apple starting to turn a little bit? Apple's still holding its gains. As long as Apple holds its gains, I don't really have too many concerns. Yes, the SPY can definitely get a pullback. The SPY can definitely get a drop. The S&P 500 can definitely get weaker. But the thing is, Apple still has to get up towards around that 213.80 mark. SPY right here. Deck, how low can the SPY go and bounce? 530.30. 530.30 would be where the bounce would be if there is going to be a bounce. So 530.30 would be that dip buy or that bounce play if it does have that lower shadow and gets that a little reversal. I still want to see if that thing can spike right on up to that 531 mark. So guys, let's see if this thing can get that little pop. Apple right here. Apple going for it. S&P 500 also looking for it here. Traders are going to add one more contract. Going 2 contracts over on this play. $8,530 investment. Looking for that break of 531. Pop on up. Apple's hitting some new highs right now. Apple coming on up towards some new highs. Looking for this thing to squeeze on up to 213.80. Seeing if, again, the S&P 500 can pop up towards around 530.10, 531.15. You know, break through that 531 mark. So I am putting 2 contracts in at this time. Looking for a little bit of a squeeze to run back up towards the high of the day. We got, again, all you got to watch is the bids here. Bids are at 530.93. We want to see 531. We got 94. 94, 95. 95 right here. Let's see. 98. Let's get a nice 20-cent rip. 20-cent rip. Pay out $200. Let's get ourselves in some profits. There's 31. 530. Again, 31 is the resistance line, guys. We got to break above. So it just comes on down to breaking that 31 mark. Really, I'm just trying to scalp out on the call side. Scalp out some trades. Scalp out, you know, a little bit of action on the call side. As long as Apple's holding its gains, it's good. We got to see Apple, though, keep on pushing. We got to see Apple keep on spiking here. SPY or SPX over on Lightspeed, I believe, is $15 a month extra. If you want to trade SPX, you got to have $15 a month extra. So Apple is still on this uptrend. Apple's still holding this uptrend right now. I have 2 contracts looking to break above that 531 mark. That's it. Break above 531, I get paid some money. Easy as that, guys. Now, am I going to hold this all day? No, I just want to lock in some profits. So I want to see, again, if the S&P 500 can be able to spike on up, break through 531, and make me some money. Apple still holding its uptrend here. Where's Apple's high? I just want to see. Apple's high of the day is 213.54. Guys, Apple just hit a new high of the day. 213.58. Apple, guys, 213.58 right now. Apple's hitting some highs. That should push up the SPY. If Apple keeps going, this should push up my profits. Should get me into the green here soon. Apple right now just hit another new high of the day. Go up to 213.60s, 213.70s. Let's get that pop. Apple right here got up towards 213.60. I don't want to see that to be the reverse area, though. S&P 500 starting to turn a little bit. Guys, I might just have to say, accept your loss, move on from it. Don't want to, again, take any unnecessary losses. We are seeing, again, Apple turn at this time. We got to see the S&P 500 get a little bounce. Guys, I'm going to take this loss, move on from it. Still stay in the green, up $180. So, team, looking for a little bit of a scalp there. That was more of, again, not as planned out as our first trade. I was, again, just kind of getting a little eager. I was getting a little eager. I was getting a little, okay, I want to trade. I want to make a little money. I'm getting a little excited. But obviously, again, the first trade is the trade that we want to be able to have planned out, setting perfectly. Second one, I was more looking for the S&P 500 to break 531. As you guys can see right now at this moment, S&P 500 getting rejected at 531 as Apple is at its 50-day moving average. Traders, get prepared for Apple to start turning, start dropping. We do have Apple right underneath the 50-day moving average as we've been talking about. Watch for a little bit of a sell-off. We do have right now 11.11 in the market. And traders, for myself here, I think I'm going to call it for myself. Guys, I'm happy with what we've been able to accomplish today. Apple, get ready for some puts. SPY, get ready for a little bit of a drop. Watch for things to start turning and start fading. Lunch hours is coming on up, and as you guys know, Apple did not get all the way up to the 50-day moving average, but pretty close, and that's going to have the influence of seeing these markets start fading and falling back on down. Be careful. Use your head. Traders, I just want to say thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate you guys. I do have some birthday things planned later this afternoon, so while my scanners and stream will be up, I will not be having commentary this afternoon. As always, get ready for the summer boot camp. Get ready to meet all of our mentors. Get ready to work with everyone. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please always email me at dekmartrades@gmail.com. I love this team. I love this community. I love working with you guys day in and day out. Thank you for the amazing past year, and let's make this even the best year ever going forward. Team, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy it. And let's get ready. Summer boot camp starts on off in 4 days. Everyone needs to be on a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime memberships. Help me wrap it up right here and right now in 3, 2, 1. Ah-hoo! Money today? Did you make a profit today? Did you come out on top today? I'm the Batman. I got this question the other day. Why are you successful?
So I ball so hard, motherfucker.
$1,000 profit today.
First niggas gotta find me.
$700.
50 grand to a motherfucker like me. Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy.
$1,000.
Y'all know that don't shit phase. And as we go,
Lock it on up.
too when I look at you like this shit crazy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even pro be here.
1,400.
It's only right that we be fair.
Who's ready for $1 million year?
Should be asking how to be successful. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6.
I just put it to the side. Bought a sense of baby, they could see it in my eyes. My mama calls, see you on TV. Sunset shit done change.